Welcome to our special podcast series on harnessing the power of generative AI in law firms, brought to you in partnership with Lawline. I'm your host, Gina, and over the course of this series, we team up with other industry thought leaders to explore the transformative power of Gen AI. We dive into its practical application, implications, and ethical considerations for law firms. In this first session, I share insights to help law firms navigate the complexities of the Gen AI revolution, while of course mitigating its risks. By adopting a balanced approach, law firms can leverage Gen AI to improve efficiencies, deliver enhanced client services, and drive business excellence. Be sure to visit the Lawline website for the complete Generative AI webinar series, where you can watch the complete session recordings and receive your CLE credit. You can find links in our show notes to take you directly there. And in the meantime, we hope you enjoy this excerpt. There are many practices that are most likely going to be impacted by generative AI. You have corporate practice, we know, trust and estates. I thought intellectual property and litigation were interesting because they were tied for third place in this study. Tax, banking and finance, real estate. I mean, the list goes on. So it's important to be mindful that your practice is going to be affected by generative AI if it hasn't already. So let's take a look at where things are going. But before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about what are some of the everyday uses. And artificial intelligence has been around for a long time. It's not new. We've been using it on our GPS systems and Apple iTunes. Autocorrect, when you're typing on your phone, or I should say texting on your phone, it might suggest a word. That's artificial intelligence. Same thing with if you're working in Microsoft Word. It may auto predict. Those predictors are artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence became smarter, as you will, within the last 9 months. So there are many uses of AI in law firms, in fact. You've been using them for many years, whether it's case assessments, client onboarding, procurement, predictive analytics. I mean, just the nature of the term predictive analytics tells you that we've been using AI to predict things. Now, the items that you see on the screen in bold are the things where generative AI is having an impact. So content creation and copywriting, contract generation and analysis, document drafting and review, graphic design. I like to mention Grammarly as an example, or your everyday spell check. These are tools that are really helping us. And the generative AI works much the same way, and I'm going to get into that. But other uses in law firms, marketing and public relations copy, media monitoring, meeting transcripts. Been doing this for years. So go to a meeting, get permission to record, use any one of the many platforms, whether it's Otter AI, Temi, Rev.com, using those to record and then get a transcript so that you're not typing. Reputation management. So these are ways that generative AI can be used. And I'm going to get more into, of course, the ethics and the examples in just a moment.
Elevate your legal expertise with Lawline, the leader in online legal education for over 25 years. Whether you're brushing up on the latest trends or diving into a new area of law, Lawline's extensive library offers on-demand courses designed by legal experts. With Lawline, learning fits your schedule. Access over 2,000 courses from anywhere, anytime. Earn your CLE credits through engaging video courses and interactive tools that make learning both effective and enjoyable. Join thousands of attorneys who are enhancing their practice with Lawline. Sign up today and transform your professional journey. Lawline, legal learning unlimited. Visit lawline.com/FuriaRuble to learn more, and for a special discount for podcast listeners.
So we're 10 months in, and where generative AI has the biggest impacts on law firm, and this was just reported on at ILTACON, which is going on this week, actually, It's business development and marketing, research and contracting, e-discovery, pricing models, analytics, and client communication. So these are where we're seeing in the last 10 months, Gen AI has had the biggest impact. And the reason, frankly, is Gen AI was never meant to be a litigation tool. It's not how it was originally developed. And we've seen that some have gotten trouble using it the way it was unintended. However, let's talk about the positive ways that some firms have been using Gen AI and what they're currently doing. Most of it is proprietary. So just on August 22nd, DLA Piper announced that they have a new tool that they're using for investigation and compliance review for e-discovery. Troutman Pepper came out and said they have a generative AI powered chatbot. They named her Athena, or they named them Athena, to help streamline attorney workflows and assist in administrative matters. This includes writing, note taking, retrieving key takeaways from data, assigning stakeholders to manage specific projects. And they're using it for first drafts of blog posts for attorneys and the firm website. I'm still a little cautious on that, but as long as it's first draft and it's highly vetted and has human eyes, and I'm sure that they have all of those protocols in place, but that's something that we're going to get into. What are those protocols that you need to have in place? Travers and Smith is using it. They're calling it Analyze to support their internal departments as they experiment with it. They're using it as an experimentation for the time being. Davis Wright Tremaine, they announced just 2 weeks prior to me recording this that they have a proprietary version with data sources limited to public-facing firm information, and it's for attorneys only. Again, so that they can play with the technology. It's an important distinction. Gunderson and Detmer is using ChatGC for attorneys to query and manipulate documents. And they have a secure enterprise instance of OpenAI's model through Microsoft Azure. And then Denton's also announced, and they were one of the first earlier in August 2023, that they have a proprietary version called Fleet AI, which they launched in the UK, Ireland, and the Middle East. So again, law firms are using these tools. They're using them to become more competitive. They're using them to test the waters, to figure out, to play, as you will. And while they're doing that, law firm clients are asking, how are you leveraging generative AI? How are you training staff? So if you can't answer any of these questions and you do corporate law, you have a challenge because you need to be leveraging and training and allowing staff and attorneys to use these tools. And, I liken it very much to, and I'm showing my age here, when I was first practicing law and the fax machine was new, or better yet, email was new. And everyone was worried, how do we use these tools? We can't use them. No, you can't send a brief via email or fax. Is it privileged? All of those things. Now the fact has gone to the wayside of just predominantly being used by the medical industry, healthcare industry, and email we overuse, in fact, as part of our daily lives. So if your firm is saying, we're going to ban the use of generative AI, you're going to be left well behind because technology is moving the industry forward, and we need to use it ethically, strategically, and effectively. So know that your clients, especially your corporate clients, are asking how you're using generative AI, and you need to be prepared to answer that.
On Record PR is produced by Jennifer Simpson-Carr and Matt Henderson, with support from the team at Furia Rubel Communications. This episode is edited by Željko Tomic of Compost Media Flow.